everyone! Welcome back to a 2v2 battle. This is going to be Vampire Counts and the Greenskins versus two Warriors of Chaos. The theme for this one is going to be Rise of the Necromancers. We have the Necromancer himself, Heinrich Himmler, leading an army of 3 other Necromancers and their skeletal horde. Because when I think of Necromancers, I think of skeletons, not necessarily zombies or ghouls or anything like that. So we have 4 skeletal spearmen, we have 4 skeletal warriors, 2 of them are in reserve back here. We have 1 grave guard protecting Heinrich. We have 2 more grave guard in the back with great weapons, along with the 3 Necromancers you can see here. We have 2 of the Black Knights with lances, and then 2 more Black Knights that are just the normal ones. And that is our army. My allies' army for the Greenskins here. We have Azhag, a Night Goblin Shaman, a line of Orc Biggins. We have 3 Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which is the anti-armor, anti-cavalry. We also have Savage Orcs and a couple Savage Orc Biggins in the back. We are faced up against 3 Chaos Knights, Archaon on his, I don't remember what the horse is called, but it's like a nightmare. We also have 3 additional Chaos Knights with lances, and then the other warrior has 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds on the flank. We have 2 Chosen, 2 Chaos Warriors, 2 of the Chaos Spawn, a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, and another Archaon right here. Off to their right, we also have a Gorebeast Chariot, which you do not see that often. That is the army composition. Now, bringing multiple Necromancers, I don't normally like bringing multiple spellcasters, but at least with multiple Necromancers, you can spread out their Master of the Dead aura, which just constantly regenerates your army. So they're not too terrible to bring multiple Necromancers, plus it's the theme, so that's what we're going with. So we have a total of 4 Necromancers, including the leader himself, Heinrich. And right now, one of our enemies is going to be trying to get to our flanks, so seeing that the battle is going to be drawn this way, I'm going to also bring my army this way. I'm kind of designating one of the basic Black Knights on the Gorebeast Chariot duty right now. I'm trying to threaten it because I don't want it coming into our infantry. And I'm going to try and swing some of our Black Knights with lances over here because there's going to be a fight going on over here. So the 2 Orc Boar Boy Biggins on the right flank are going to be enveloped by all of this Chaos Cav. Right there we have Archaon casting a Flaming Skull, I believe. Yep. You see the damage it's going to do to those Savage Orcs. Not too much, because the Savage Orcs are kind of spread out and they're on the run, so it doesn't have much time to do much damage. These poor Orc Boar Boy Biggins, though, they get killed before the reinforcements get there. We have another Flaming Skull going on? Maybe not. Oh, it was a Comet spell. Doesn't really do too much. Right here, I was trying to signal my ally. I was drawing a circle around it because there's a spell about to be going down. I think it's another Comet ability. They do pull out their Orc Boar Boys here soon. Right here, we're going to get flanked by these Chaos Spawn into our Swordsmen. I would really rather prefer our Spearmen to be fighting those, but that's what we have. At least we get 1 Spearman group into these Chaos Spawn, but they're going to be backed up by Chaos Warriors and Chosen coming in. I'm going to be bringing our 2 Grave Guard with great weapons on our right flank to try and make sure that it is going to hold against all of these Chosen. In the middle, we have our Skeletal Warriors doing what they can against the Chaos Warriors and the Spawn, while the Grave Guard kind of hold in reserve with Heinrich. There goes the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Back here, my Knights were chased off by this group of Halberds, so I'm going to start doing some rear charges. I'm pulling our 2 Knights back from this engagement because the Chaos player pulled back. We're going to show this battle separate so I can concentrate on each side and what's happening. So yeah, I'm pulling back my 2 Black Knights with lances because I want to try and get rear charges. My Skeletal Warriors are not going to be enough to defeat Chaos Warriors and Chosen, so I'm really going to need to use my Cav. Over here, some Chaos Warriors with halberds get into my Skeletal Spearmen, or Warriors, Spearmen. And I'm going to flank charge them with the Grave Guard over here with great weapons, and I'm going to be bringing our other Grave Guard over here as well. We do have a Necromancer nearby. We're casting Curse of Years on this flank so that their melee attack is going to be dropped. Meanwhile, in the middle, the Orc Boar Boy Biggins came into charge and help us. We're going to get a rear charge with some Black Knights. These Chaos Warriors are still chasing us. Over here, my 2 Black Knights with lances engage against these Gorebeast Chariots who are just trying to pile through my Skeletal Warriors. Just walking through. There goes the Curse of the Bad Moon. We're going to be pulling our Knights out because I don't want them to get caught by those halberds. We have our other group of Black Knights over here on the right flank trying to do a rear charge. Skeletal Warriors, Spearmen not doing too well against Chaos Warriors, Chosen, and the Spawn. That's okay. We have more skeletons where they came from. Finally getting our Grave Guard into a position where we can flank them from the other side, so we're going to be sending them in very soon. The mid is going to be held now by our Grave Guard, what remains of our Skeletal Warriors, and Heinrich is about to join the fray. My 2 Skeletal Black Knights with Lances are now going to be pulled out to do charges on the rear. Here comes another charge from our Black Knights. And these are the cheapies. These Black Knights cost 700. But they're still decent cav. There goes the Cascading Fire Cloak cast from Archeon to protect their troops, increasing their melee defense. And attack? Melee defense? I know melee defense for sure. Another Curse of Years being dropped on me. I really want this right flank to hold as long as possible, to give our Grave Guard time to just kind of isolate these Chaos Warriors one at a time if possible. Meanwhile, our Knights are still just in the backfield doing rear charges because the cav from the Chaos is focused on my ally right now, so I'm kind of free to do what I want. Right now, the only people holding this right flank, this part here, is some Skeletal Spearmen that are left and a Necromancer. A very brave Necromancer embedded in this mess. Getting some more rear charges off with the Skeletal Knights on our left flank to try and wrap up these Chosen, who are currently fighting our Skeletal Spearmen. Getting another charge in the mid against these Chaos Spawn. Archeon is also in the middle. Here comes some Warriors. They're coming in just in time to try and surround my Black Knights, which is not good for me. So you can see they try to get us around. I'm going to try and pull our Knights out soon-ish when I realize that they are going to be attacked by Halberds. You can see our 2 Grave Guard here are basically wiped out one of the Chaos Halberd groups. And so we're going to be moving on to support the rest of the right flank, which is now still just our Necromancer. Did he die? I think our Necromancer may have died. Yeah. They succumbed to their wounds from all of the Chosen Chaos Warriors and Spawn, but my enemy did not move these forces, so I'm going to charge him with our Grave Guard now. And you can see we're still going to be getting rear charges in the back. Grave Guard are anti-infantry and anti-armor, so they could do well against Chosen. Chaos Spawn, though, pretty tough. Here comes a rear charge from some Orc boys. My Black Knights with Lances have assisted our Skeletal Warriors in wrapping up these Chosen on our left flank with multiple charges. It took a while. Chosen are very hardy. We have taken out the Gore Beast Chariots at this point as well. Here comes another recharge, backing up the Orc boys. Not a great charge, though, because we kind of charged right into the Orc boys there. So that disrupted a little bit. I was not paying attention. We got some regeneration going down on our Grave Guard. I know I need them alive and at full strength to try and take out all of these heavily armored soldiers. Let's take a bird's eye view of the fight going on right now. See Azag overwatching his soldiers. We still have a Necromancer over here. Heinrich is still also alive, but engaged against Archeon. And we have one more Necromancer over here as well. So we have 2 Necromancers and Heinrich still alive. Here comes some Savage Orcs, reinforcements. And at this point, the battle kind of merges into one melee with both Chaos and both of us. So I'm going to stop it here. Ooh, actually, let's stop it here. So Archeon, I tried to withdraw Heinrich, and he blasted Heinrich in the back with a fireball spell. And I'm trying to just run Heinrich away, but Archeon is unrelenting and drops Heinrich. Farewell, Heinrich Himmler. We knew you for not long at all. But I do still have 2 Necromancers. Now, let's take a look at the battle from my ally side, because then it's going to eventually collapse into all of us just kind of fighting each other, and it's a fun battle. Here goes the initial charge of the Orc Boar Boys. We do have a Fate of Buna being dropped on one of the Chaos Knights with Lances from Azag, or aka Fictional, as Azag is known in this battle. The Orcs are brave, but against 6 units of Chaos Cav, there's really not much they can do. Like, they're pretty strong. They're not that strong. There goes that flaming skull. Now, this may look kind of bad because there's a lot of cav here and they're wiping out my allies' cav, but you got to remember that the biggin units for both the savage and just the normal orc biggins, they have a bonus versus armor. Well, they have armor piercing, I should say, and they also have a bonus versus large. So even though there's a lot of infantry against cav, this infantry, most of it, does have a bonus versus cav and any large creatures. So it's not as maybe uneven as someone would maybe think. So here we go, some savage orc biggins coming in. Unfortunately, they're not going to be catching the Chaos Cav right now. So the Chaos Cav is allowed to pull back a little bit. Actually, a couple of them get caught. It was a smart move from the enemy player to withdraw from that. Allow them to try and get another charge off instead of just getting kind of caught out there in the open. Meanwhile, over here, the battle between me and the other Chaos Warrior is going to be raging on. Alright, now I think they're trying to get back into formation with the Orc Biggins in the front line to take the charge, and the Savage Orcs, which are a little more brittle, just because they have 0 armor. They're going to be behind the line of Biggins to protect them. Also, the Night Goblin Shaman, where are you? Oh, here you are. With your little monocle. Moon-shaped monocle. Night Goblins are the best. Guess we'll just kind of pull out here and just see the massive battlefield here. It looks really cool. These games are just so cool. Alright, here we go. Looks like some Chaos Knights are about to charge. It's a good time to charge. The Orc Biggins were not braced against it, so they're going to be disrupted a little bit more. And it's just going to be a massive charge across the infantry line here. Ooh, getting a nice flank charge against those Biggins. It looks like we have a wall being dropped. Yeah, that's a wall from Aztag being dropped on their units, giving them plus 58 attack temporarily. We have a Archaeon Flame Pillar being dropped on their infantry. We also have the Night Goblin dropping Sneaky Stabbing, increasing their armor piercing damage and melee attack. And a Curse of the Bad Moon. But, I don't think it's going to hit anything, unfortunately. Give you a look at the hit points right now. Those Orc Boar Boys came back from routing. And I think the Curse of the Bad Moon drops about right here. Right before it gets to those Chaos Alberts. Another Sneaky Stabbing dropping. A good spell against Chaos Knights to increase their armor-piercing damage. I'm going to be charging in my cav here and there. In fact, there they are right there. The basic Black Knights are charging in to try and assist my ally. And you can see the Chaos is trying to pull out to get another massive charge against the Orc Infantry. Leaving a few Chaos Warriors behind. For the greater good, though, you know? He's not feeling the greater good right now. In fact, he's not feeling anything. These Chaos Knights kind of get dragged along as they're moving, so they don't really get a nice charge off. And they re-engage in melee. These Knights should get a nice charge off, though. We have Azag in the middle doing what he can. Archaeon also right there on his Nightmare. And the Orcs are just so massive that even the Chaos Cav can't really push them off their feet for the most part. Orcs are big. They're big. It's in their name. They're biggins. So there is a lot of Orc infantry there. But there is also still a lot of Chaos Cav. And Archaeon is doing what he can. Where's your flaming sword? There you are. He's kind of hidden amongst all these other knights. Another Sneaky Stabbing, I believe. And a Stand Your Ground dropping. My knights getting a little bit of that Sneaky Stabbing before they pull out. Whenever I could and I had Knights in the area, I would just try and get a quick rear charge off on the Chaos Knights. I tried my best not to charge them and then having them charge me, because I lose that. Like right here, I got kind of lucky. I don't think they issued an attack order on me. But if we go into a direct charge with Chaos Knights, we're going to lose. But if we can just do rear charges, the Black Knights can do okay against Chaos Knights. Okay. I stress. Yeah, you don't want them charging on in the headlong against Chaos Knights. They're not going to win that. So the Chaos Knights are forced to withdraw again, trying to get their morale back. A good call. My Knights go back to try and assist me. And while the Chaos are licking their wounds, I believe this is when my ally is going to send some of their Savage Orcs on my side to help assist me with the still high amount of Chaos Warriors and Chaos Spawn that are sitting over here. And yeah, the Chaos are just kind of sitting out there getting their morale back. Where's that Knight God? There you are. You're still alive. Excellent. Regeneration being dropped. There's some of our Knights trying to finish off these Gore Beast Chariots. I'm kind of interested to see how well they did. I didn't look at the kill counts after this battle, so we'll check that out later. Because they lived for quite a long time, even though I was constantly hounding them with Knights. Here we get some rear charge from the Savage Orcs. We really needed their help against these Chaos Spawn. They've been alive throughout this whole battle, just wreaking havoc. Meanwhile, here comes some more of the Chaos Knights after getting their morale back, so they're going to hit these Orc Gore Boys who didn't see it coming. So they're going to try to finish the job here. Let's see, is Heinrich dead? Okay, Heinrich just fell to Archeon, you little bastard. Sending some Skeletal Warriors to try and deal with him. Chaos Knights continue to try and pick off isolated units like this one group of Biggins. I'm going to send in some Black Knights to assist them. The Chaos Knights do get a little bit of a charge off against me. Luckily for me, these Knights kind of run into the backs of their friends and the Orc Biggins, so they didn't really get much of a charge against our Black Knights. I'm going to reinforce the Black Knights with Lances. I really want to try and crush this Cav. And here's our second group of Black Knights with Lances. Ooh, they actually got intercepted there. I didn't see that before. I'm trying to wheel them around to get a flanking charge on these stable Knights. That's what my idea was. I'm also sending some Graveguard with great weapons now over here to assist against the Knights. And you can see a lot of them are currently routing. Meanwhile, over here, we have wrapped up, with the help of the Orcs, the rest of the Chaos Infantry for the most part. Archeon is still alive. Some of his warriors are coming to rally by his side, but there are not that many left. For us, we still have 2 Necromancers, one over here and then one right there. So the Master of the Dead trait is still proccing on the soldiers around them. Chaos Knights are coming back. So we will keep pushing with our Graveguard and our Knights against Archeon and the remaining Chaos Knights over here. And yeah, not much left to see over on this flank. We wrapped up their Chaos Warriors again. They do have some Halberdiers coming back from routing. But it's mostly just Archeon. There goes a Flaming Skull on some Savage Orcs. Ugh. That's not what you want to see. It does do some damage. Then over here we got another wall and stand your ground being dropped from Aztec to assist us against the other Archeon. The Archeon cosplayer. Not a surprise that both Archeons are one of the last ones to live through all of this carnage. Archeon is just a beast. Just one of those units that are hard to kill. In melee. I'm sure if you blast them enough with maybe like magic missile spells, he'll drop. But it's around here that I don't even know if the Archaeon drops, but their armies do rout. I think both Archaeons live through it though. They do just shatter. This one does, and then this one's going to shatter shortly after. And there we have it. Archaeon lived through the entire thing. Tough. Just a tough unit. 2,200, right? Or 21. Very expensive, but I would say Archaeon is definitely worth it. So good game to my opponents and my ally. Let's take a look at the kill count. See how well our units did. Heinrich with an impressive amount of 10 kills. That's right. Our Necromancers really just shone through the entire battle with their kill counts. No, they were there just for the theme of the Necromancers and just for their Master of the Dead trait. I kind of wish I could see how much healing that did, but, you know, that's probably information we're never really going to be privy to. Skeletal Warriors did okay for fighting against the Chaos Warriors. The Skeletal Spearmen kind of got massacred by the Chaos Warriors. Graveguard did okay. My Graveguard with great weapons, though, did amazing because I put them together and had them hitting the same unit to tear them down pretty quickly. So, very happy that I invested in those two. The Knights, I mean, this one Knight got a lot of kills. That's kind of impressive. But it's, you know, you're not going to have a very high kill count when you're facing off a more of like an elite Warriors of Chaos army with Chosen. So I'm still pretty proud of the amount of kills that my army got. For fictional here, we have Azhag with 50, which is more impressive than Heinrich. Savage Orcs, I think, did really good. The Biggins did really good. All around, again, because it was a kind of a low number battle for the Warriors of Chaos. So I think we all did exceptionally well, really. I think. Let's see. El Cid, 215 kills for Archaeon Cosplayer, number 1. Archaeon Cosplayer, number 2, 165 kills. Gosh. Beast. The other Chaos Knights did really well. They were outnumbered through that entire fight, but they still gave out a beating. So, good job on them. And for the Chaos Infantry, 230 kills on this Chosen, 87 on this one, 174 on that spawn, 134 on that one. Oh man, all of them got an impressive amount of kills against our forces, but it just was not enough. How about that Gorby's chariot? Where are you? Oh, 37. Okay, again, the chariot's just not impressive. It just takes too much work, I think, to really micromanage them in a multiplayer battle. In single player, you have all the time in the world to give them an attack order, then pull them out, then give them another attack order. But in multiplayer, it's just too chaotic, I think, for most of us to really manage a chariot to its full effectiveness. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they need a buff or it's just a matter of a skill level that required to really properly utilize them. But besides that, everything else did really well. So again, good game to my opponents and my ally. That was a fun one. Leave your suggestions in the comments below because this was based off a suggestion. I think the original one was put a Necromancer to every unit, kind of like what I did with the Empire Heroes, but I kind of modified it just to have 4 Necromancers instead. Again, though, I appreciate your suggestions, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you also have a good day. Take care.